I don't want to complain because for example, I don't like blue color too much, and I think, and I am biased here probably, that Wizards are pushing blue color, like they are pushing it strongly for control and some other types of decks. Because if you take a look at the recent printings, besides Urza, Emery, and this strange artifact that is crying, Witch Well or something, and many cards for control deck and Force of Negation, like there are plenty of cards, and every single of them is Force of Negation is not broken by itself because this is the answer. Answers are never broken, maybe besides Force of Will or cards that protect broken combo decks. But Emery, like, come on, they are casting it for 1 mana and they are making combo turn 2 or something like that. And like, I don't know, a couple of years ago there was a discussion if we need to ban Mishra's Bubble. Then Junt Shadow was the best deck in Modern. You should remember that time, right?
Yes.
And because this is like a draw for nothing, you have 56 cards in your deck and you are growing your Timoglyph and so on. And since then, just a lot of time has passed, and Junt the Shadow is not a deck in Modern anymore. But right now we have this new Urza Emery deck where besides Mox Opal, card like Mishra's Bubble is broken again. You have a card for 0, you turn on your Opal, you just draw a card, you paradoxical outcome to bounce, drop it for 0, and then make like a bunch of top tiers with Saheeli, with Urza, with anything you want, with Sai. So again, we came here to be again in the situation with okay, is this card really broken? It's not that Shadow, Junt the Shadow, that was broken. It was the card that made the deck has some unfair advantage and some unfair speed. Although in Junt the Shadow it was like much lower power level, exactly in this one card. And here, they just bounce like 9 artifacts, draw 9 cards, drop like 8 or something Mox Opals, and cast Urza and make infinite everything. Like, I don't know, is this fun? We'll see.
Well,
see
Mishra's Bauble seems like a weird thing to ban, but on the other hand,
true, of course.
Everything that costs nothing gets abused at some point. You know, there's like for example, there's some Phyrexian mana spells like Gitaxian Probe, which went away because look at the difference between Gitaxian Probe and Peak. Peak costs 1 mana and does
almost unplayable.
Does the same thing as Gitaxian Probe at instant speed and sees no play in Modern. Nothing. The fact that Gitaxian Probe costs 0 makes all the difference, and well, makes the difference in this Urza deck. It looks like a vintage deck.
Yeah, somebody said to me, I don't know what was the connection, what was the other card, but there was something like Astrolabe that made any color of mana for tapping it and tapping 1 mana, but this artifact costed 2 mana. I don't know which one is that. Maybe we can link it somewhere or something like that. I don't remember, but there is an artifact that if you tap this and 1 mana you get any color, but this costs 2. And this is almost unplayable in any format probably. And now you reduce the cost by 1 and Astrolabe is broken everywhere.
Yeah.
But this is not that surprising, because if you take Lightning Strike, that is unplayable everywhere besides Standard, you reduce cost by 1 mana and you get the best card in Modern ever and very good card in Legacy. I don't know how good Bolt is in Legacy, probably still very good.
Oh, still very, Modern, very, very good.
Yeah, and in Modern this is like the best deck. If you take a look at like those, I don't know, how old is Modern? 15 years?
Yeah, 17? Something like that.
Yeah, so if you take the whole history of Modern, it's like the best card overall. And you just reduce 1 mana. So how much damage we can deal to format if you make those cards too cheap? Like a lot of damage. And we see, because SCG is not like the point of we don't want to draw too far-reaching conclusions looking at SCG, but I have seen this deck being played. I have played against it just a bunch because I play limited testing, so I'm not into this Emery stuff. But this looks awful. This looks very awful. This deck is very fast, and even if they don't go off, they draw like 20 cards. So they are definitely going off next turn. And this deck is like very fast. You play Mox Opal turn 0, you enable it with a bunch of broken artifacts, and second turn you land Emery and you land Mox Amber, and you already have like another source of mana. So this deck uses a lot of broken cards in it. Not to mention Urza, right?
Yeah, not to mention Urza. Basically, Tolarian Academy on a creature. How fitting.
That's true. That's true. And honestly, I don't see Wizards banning Urza because this would be another card from the new set that they would ban.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this card might be interesting, but this card might be interesting in mid-range-ish deck, not in deck that is killing you turn 2, turn 3, with this card being combo piece, but not necessarily right now. This card is just, if you play it, you win on the spot, and if you don't, you probably will as well. If you play it on empty board, this is still very good.
I think Urza is only going to see play in like artifact heavy decks. I don't know, maybe some
Sure.
Tezzeret looking thing. There have been many artifact decks in the past that never quite got there. Maybe Urza could be the missing piece in them, but it just ended up getting jammed very successfully in the Whir deck, and then it's, I guess, evolved into the Paradox Outcome deck, and now we've got this Emery version that has now just taken this deck over the top even more.
That's true. And probably, I don't think I'm correct, but do we have any ban announcement today?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Pending when people are seeing this, but like on Monday, October 7th, there is a there's an announcement.
In a couple of hours, we are probably having another ban announcement. What are your predictions? I think nothing will change.
Nothing's going to change. I made a video saying nothing's going to change for Modern. I have no idea what's going to happen in Legacy, but or Vintage
or Standard.
Yeah, or Standard, but nothing for Modern. Modern still looks okay. Like they'll probably, if they're gonna take action on Mox Opal, they'll let the Whir deck or like the Urza deck just take its, just run wild to the point where it's going to be very, very obvious when people are very, very sick of it. I don't know if people are there yet that they're super sick of that deck, just because it's just not popular enough. But I think it's easy enough to play compared to, say, Krark-Clan Ironworks or Lantern Control of the past, that more people will pick the deck up really quickly. And then people will get sick of this deck very fast. And, playing against it once every 15 matches, not too bad. But if you're playing it like once every 5 matches because it becomes super tier 1, then you're going to get super sick of playing against this artifact deck.